Hi students, today we are going to see about the magnetic materials, laws governing magnetic circuits, properties, hysteresis and eddy current losses. First of all, we will see what is meant by the magnetic materials and the classifications. Magnetic materials are classified based on the property called permeability. So according to this, it is classified as diamagnetic, paramagnetic and ferromagnetic materials. First we will see diamagnetic materials. The materials whose permeability is below unity are called diamagnetic materials. They are repelled by magnet. Examples are lead, gold, copper, glass, mercury. Next we will see paramagnetic materials. The materials with permeability above unity are called paramagnetic materials. The force of attraction by a magnet towards these materials is low. Examples are copper sulfate, oxygen, platinum and aluminum. Next we will see ferromagnetic materials. The materials with permeability thousands of times more than that of paramagnetic materials are called ferromagnetic materials. They are very much attracted by the magnet. Examples are iron, cobalt, nickel. Next we will see permanent magnet. Permanent magnet means the magnetic materials which will retain the magnetic property at all times permanently. This types of magnets is manufactured by aluminum, nickel, iron and cobalt steel. Next we will see the rules governing magnetic circuit. First we will see end rule. According to this rule, the current direction when looked from one end of the coil is in clockwise direction, then that end is the south pole. If the current direction is in anti-clockwise direction, then that end is north pole. Second rule is Lenz's law. When an EMF induced in a circuit electromagnetically, the current setup always opposes the motion or change in current which produces it. Next is Fleming's right hand rule. In order to tell this rule, we can see the diagram. In this diagram, we can see our right hand with index finger, middle finger and thumb are stretched out at right angles. If index finger represents the direction of lines of flux, then the thumb points in the direction of motion and the middle finger points in the direction of induced current. Now let us see the laws of magnetism. First law, like poles repel, unlike poles attract. Second law is Coulomb's law, that is, force exerted by one pole on the other pole is directly proportional to the product of the pole strength, inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them, and it depends on nature of medium of surrounding poles. Mathematically, this law can be expressed as F directly proportional to m1 m2 by d square. F is equal to k m1 m2 divided by d square. Next, we will be seeing the Kirchhoff's laws of magnetic flux. Kirchhoff's flux law, it states that total magnetic flux entering the junction is equal to total magnetic flux leaving the junction. Second law is Kirchhoff's MMF law. The total EMF in a circuit is equal to the algebraic sum of the products of the magnetic field strength and the length of each part of the circuit. Now let us see the properties of magnetic materials. First, magnetic hysteresis. Magnetic hysteresis is defined as the lagging of magnetization or induction flux density B behind the magnetizing force H. It may be also defined as the quality of magnetic substance due to which energy is dissipated in it on the reversal of its magnetism. You can see the magnetic hysteresis law. When current is increased, it will be getting OA. A is the saturation point. Then if we are decreasing the current, it will be following another path. So it will be coming to AC. So in this case, B is there whereas H is 0. In order to make H to 0, we will give the current in the reverse direction. So we will be getting the point D. Then we will further decreasing it. It will be giving the point E in the negative direction. Then if we are further increasing, we will be getting the point F and then G and again A. So this is the magnetic hysteresis loop. Here we can see iron loss or core loss. These losses occur in the armature of the DC machine and are due to the rotation of the armature in the magnetic field of the poles. They are of two types. One is hysteresis loss and the other is eddy current loss. So we'll see hysteresis loss first. You can see in this case we can in this diagram we can see an armature rotating in two pole machine. So consider a small piece AB. When AB is under north pole, the magnetic lines pass from A to B. Then after half the rotations, the same piece of iron is under south pole and magnetic lines pass from B to A, so that magnetism in the iron is reversed. So in order to reverse continuously the molecular magnitude magnets in the armature core, some power is lost. This loss is called hysteresis loss. It is given by Steinmetz formula, that is Bmax raised to 1.6 FV watts. So Bmax is the flux density, F is the frequency, V is the volume. So in order to reduce it, we have to use silicon steel, which is having less Steinmetz hysteresis coefficient. Now let us see eddy current loss. In addition to the voltages induced in the armature conductors, there are also voltages induced in the armature core. These voltages produce circulating currents in the armature core as shown in the figure. These are called eddy currents, and power loss due to this is known as eddy current loss. Eddy current loss appears as heat. So the formula is Pc is equal to Ke B max square F square T square V, where Ke is constant, F is the frequency, T is the thickness, V is the volume. In order to reduce the eddy current loss, we have to use thin laminations. Thank you.